The space you are sitting in here is no ordinary space. This space is filled with immense powerful energy. This is not just my words, but this is science. I want you to understand 5 very important, powerful cosmic principles that have gone into making Ekam. The first principle is the golden ratio. It is a ratio that is 1:1.618. It's a rectangle. When something is in that ratio, it generates a very powerful energy in the form of a golden spiral. Ekam is the only structure in the world that is in a golden ratio for the purpose of awakening human beings to abundance, peace, and enlightenment. The power of this golden spiral is for you to leap across barriers, is for you to leap across your obstacles, is for you to fulfill what you want. That is what this golden spiral does. But I'll give you an analogy so you understand how important this golden spiral is. There are these birds in the world, it's only one of its kind. It's called the bar-headed geese. And these birds are the only birds that can fly at the height of 59,000 feet, 18,000 meters. They cross the Mount Everest. Now, some of the birds do not make it in this journey, but some of the birds make it. And the way these birds make it, as they are traveling towards the Himalayas have a lot of golden spiral energies. And these birds leap onto that golden spiral energy. The second they leap onto that, they race to the height of 18,000 meters at very high speeds. And then they travel at a speed of 100 miles per hour. In the same way, if you really want to conquer in life, if you really want success in life, you have to become a transformed human being who can connect, who can live in a beautiful state, who can live in a transcendental state, who can live in an enlightened state, leap on to that golden spiral that's present here in Ekam for you to fulfill your wishes and your desires and for your problems to solve. The second cosmic principle is that Ekam is in the form of a Surya Yantra. This allows the sun's powerful cosmic energies to come into Ekam and cleanse your spiritual bodies. The third cosmic principle is that Ekam is built on a very powerful spot on this planet which does not have any grid lines. So this entire earth has grid lines running below the ground, and they are all negative energy grid lines. This is the third biggest spot in the entire world where there is no energy grid line. Fourth cosmic principle is that Ekam is in the mystical form of a Vastu Purusha Mandala, which means that Ekam is built on the movement of 9 planets. That is why it has 9 domes. Okay, the study of movement of 9 planets and the energies from those 9 planets comes into Ekam. The fifth cosmic principle is the principle of 3 very important features. The first one is the Vastu Shastra, which is the science of architecture and design. The second one is the Shilpa Shastra, which is the science of proportions and images. And the third one is Natya Shastra, which is the science of vibrations arising from rhythms. These 3 overlapping together has given rise to a mathematical formula in which Ekam is built. That is why it is so energetic and it is so beautiful to the eyes. Lots and lots of energy, thinking, dedication and commitment has gone into creating the space for humankind.
Namaste. Welcome to the first day of Ekam World Peace Festival. Today we will begin with the first Please sit in a comfortable posture. Rest your hands upon your thighs with palms facing downwards.
నెమ్మదిగా
Gently
కన్నులు
close
మూసుకోండి.
your eyes. Inhale slowly into your abdomen with conscious attention. Exhale slowly. Let your exhalation be longer than your inhalation. We will now move into the peace breath. We will inhale slowly, and while exhaling, we will chant Shanti once for the first breath. Once again, we will inhale slowly and chant Shanti twice for the second breath. We will take in a third breath and this time chant Shanti thrice. Let us begin now. Inhale deeply. Shanti. Inhale. Shanti. Shanti. Inhale. Shanti. 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 Gently open your eyes.
Welcome to Ekam World Peace Festival. Among the 10 sacred intentions for world peace, today is for the ending of wars. Peace is the absence of division. Peace is the awareness of oneness of our humanity. Today we will hold a heartfelt intention for greater harmony and peace to grow between different communities, races, clans, and nations. We will also hold a sacred intention for the physical and emotional pain caused by wars to several millions of people across the world to be healed. What causes battles and wars in the world is not our difference in the form of religious beliefs, racial, or communal differences, but a deep seated hatred arising from a wanting to control and establish one's dominance over the other. Battles and wars are being fought for various reasons, like economic control, control over natural resources like oil and minerals, expanding borders and building larger presence. But what drives a war is the force of hatred, greed, and the divisive consciousness that are passed on from one generation to another. Wars are as old as humanity. Millions of years ago, as we evolved an opposing thumb and began to make powerful and efficient tools, we not only learned to survive better, but also became better skilled at the art of war. Sadly, we are the only species on the planet that kills one's own members in the name of war, causing mass destruction and bloodshed. Other species fight for food, mate, or territory, but do not wage wars driven by hate. If we looked at most wars in the world, ironically, most are fought in the name of love for the country, religion, or God. The killing and maiming often happens with the shield of a noble cause. At the root of all these wars are individuals who are divided and driven by hatred. Every technological advancement and evolutionary leap that we make from hate will not lead us to progress. Driven by hate and greed, we will invent more destructive methods for war and not for peace, well being, and togetherness. Hence, if we want a peaceful, beautiful world that is a safe haven for our children and their children, then we have to bring about an awakening in our consciousness. We need to move from hatred and division to peace in our consciousness. As individuals, as families, as communities, when we live and relate with one another from peace consciousness, we can create a new destiny for the world, where wars and battles will not be furthered anymore. War should end. Peace between the nations is the responsibility of our political leaders. We need leaders who are driven by consciousness that looks beyond them into the future. It is the responsibility of each and every one of us. Let us listen to a real life story. Umit, a little girl of 4 years, is standing in the fields while her mother is working with her baby brother strapped to her back. When enemy soldiers suddenly open fire, everyone runs for safety. Umit falls into a pit amidst the firing. The mother grabs Umit and runs. To her great agony, the mother discovers the baby boy tied to her back has been shot when she had bent down to pick up Umit from the pit. The boy's death pushed the mother into depression. She kept blaming Umit for killing her son. Umit, being the only surviving child, had to take care of the sick mother. Because of poverty in the family, when she was 15 years old, the mother forcefully got her married to an elderly relative who was an alcoholic. Unable to bear his torture, she ran away from his house as a pregnant teenager. She gives birth to a baby girl and begins working in a factory. She becomes very ambitious to rise above poverty. She eventually becomes a business owner herself and grows rich. But unfortunately, her state is one that is absolutely ruthless and incapable of any kindness and love. Starved of her love, her daughter became chronically depressed and became a mother to 2 children. Now in her 60s, Umit came to the academy and went through a massive spiritual transformation and ended her suffering. She awakened to the power of a beautiful state. After her transformation, she has become a loving mother and a caring leader. Above all, as a conscious grandmother, she today is able to impact her grandchildren. They are growing into joyful and caring individuals, and their future generations will benefit from their beautiful state of being. War is initiated by someone with a divisive consciousness, but 3 generations of seemingly unconnected people are at the receiving end of consequences. Apart from the fact that it kills several, it also leaves behind enormous emotional pain in those who survive it. In this story, Umit's mother suffered the emotional trauma of losing her innocent baby to violence. But her emotional pain manifested as hate
and destroyed the life of her daughter, who in turn passed on her hate to her children. But fortunately, as Umit healed herself at our academy, she is able to stop this flow of generational hate and end it so that her grandchildren could have a beautiful life and they could contribute to a peaceful planet. Each of us are carrying hate and vengeance suffered by our parents, grandparents, and great grandparents. We are unconsciously passing it on to our children and grandchildren. As we become liberated from the generational hate we carry in our consciousness, our inner being would become peaceful and calm. These painful emotional states would dissolve within us and end within us. They will not be passed on to our future generations. This is what I call the web of life. All life on this planet is inseparably connected like a web. What happens to one part of the web spreads all over and affects the rest. One transformed individual from a beautiful state of peace can turn the tide of these events for generations to come, like Umit did. Therefore, your awakening to peace consciousness is the key to world peace. When all of us awaken to peace consciousness, we can impact the decisions of the leaders of your nation. As you today contribute with all your heart to the noble cause of healing this enormous pain wars have caused and blessing all those individuals who are victims of various physical and emotional pain as a result of wars, you're going to receive a great blessing. The universal intelligence would flow through you and dissolve the generational hate that has been passed on to you by your ancestors. This generational hate would end in you and will not be passed on to your children and their children. This would be your gift to them and to the world for a peaceful future.
Let us now close our eyes. Hold the message Krishna ji gave us just now. Take it into our hearts and reflect upon it. As Krishna ji said, all life on this planet is inseparably connected like a web. What happens to one part of the web spreads all over and affects the rest. One individual from a transformed state can turn the tide of these events for generations to come. Therefore, our awakening to peace consciousness is the key to world peace. As you today contribute with all your heart to the noble cause of healing the enormous pain wars have caused to people like us, and bless all those who are victims of various physical and emotional pain caused by wars, you are going to receive a great blessing. The universal intelligence would flow through you and dissolve the generational hate that has been passed on to you by your ancestors. This generational hate would end in you and will not be passed on to your children and their children. You will experience and radiate a beautiful state of peace. This would be your gift to your children and grandchildren and to the world. Gently close your eyes and place both your palms upon your heart center. Let us connect with the vision that Krishna Ji gave us today to become instruments for peace in our family, in our community, and the world. To diffuse the force of violence and hate that is driving humanity to wars and contribute to peace in human consciousness. Gently relax your palms